Welcome, Geekies, to another episode of Those Couple of Geeks. I am Adam, and I'm joined today by my co-hosts. Let's see. Let's go around the room. Holly,
Hello.
say hi. And then we've got Vanna,
Hiya.
and of course Tyler.
Howdy doodly.
I hated that.
And I just like to ask as we always do, starting off these shows, everybody, what's freaking your geek?
Well, your girl just finished Bleach, so that was
Ooh.
was very exciting.
Finally.
Hot take though.
The manga? Now, hang on, because I will say, I don't mean to interrupt, but I know that Van and I have not fully finished it, so don't spoil anything too much.
I'm not going to
please.
spoil anything.
Okay.
I promise. But I finished the manga, and my hot take that I think Tyler will adamantly disagree is that it should have ended after Ichigo saved Rukia. That
So
should have
really
just been
early
the
on.
end. Very early. It should have been a very
that
short
was like,
manga.
That was like,
Yep.
like
The
earlier.
first arc, basically. Hot
But
take.
you didn't like all of the, well, no, because what about like Waco Mundo?
I enjoyed things about it, but that doesn't mean that it shouldn't have kept going. Boruto is cool, but that doesn't mean it should still be happening.
I personally felt like after they beat Aizen for real,
Mm-hmm.
that's whenever it should have stopped. Because, like, it had all the turn twists and it had, like, the double agents that got revealed. And I felt like that was a good element. Speaking of, like, my geek relevant, I just accidentally rewatched Waco Mundo. I was dog sitting, and the only free channel that they had was playing Waco Mundo, like, basically marathoning it in
Oh my
the
gosh.
sub. So I just watched it.
Amazing. I love that.
I was gonna say, if it ended there, you wouldn't have your man crush in Grimjow.
Okay, but let's be honest. Kisuke is the number one anyways.
Urahara? Yeah.
No, the other Kisuke.
I refer to him as Urahara.
Yeah, because you're a filthy anime watcher.
Yeah,
And
I was
then
going to say, honestly, I kind of forgot his name was Kisuke, so I was like, that's why I was clarifying. I'm not a manga reader at all.
And then there's me that has his nickname as Mr. Hattenclogs as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's his, his nickname.
I was gonna say I used to call him Shady Sexy because he's kind of shady. He's very attractive.
Still is.
Well, all right. What's everyone else's freaking their geek?
I'll go. My geek moment of the week is I finally finished my small want that I ever since it came out. I finally have it for the Nerd Office. Long ago, I'm a big Funko Pop guy. Recently, since I dated Holly, I've downsized that Funko Pop collection by a lot. And
That's probably good. Sometimes they can get out of hand.
Doing the work, y'all.
Speaking from experience.
It was over the top more than anything. But my favorite Funko Pop that I kept for the collection and for the nerd room was Jiraiya on the Toad in his first appearance in the original Naruto, where he shows up and is like, I am the mountain toad sage. And that's stylistic pose that he does. Well, Funko came out with Naruto on Gamagichi in Sage mode, specifically for the toad riding stuff. And I have to say, I'm very happy. I found him on a seller site and got him for $30 when he's originally like 57 to 120 resale value. So I'm happy. That's my geek moment of the week.
Yeah, and he's is he an exclusive from like a Comic-Con or something?
He is an exclusive from Hot Topic. So usually with Hot Topic exclusives, they go within like the first 2 days. And they're very hard to find, and then all the resellers will sell them for astronomical amounts.
Well, transitioning off of your geek, kind of transitions into mine. So Van and I like to attend San Japan each year here in San Antonio, where we're from. And last year we dressed up as Tsunade and Jiraiya. So speaking of the memorable pose, I did the pose in a lot of pictures. And then this year, both of my costumes have come in the mail. I've got to try them on tonight, actually. So I've got Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? Vanna's going to be Lucy, obviously.
Of course.
And then
Perfect.
I'm going to be doing also Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, the blonde-haired crybaby, which is, I don't know, I like his character a lot, actually. And then Vanna's going to be doing a gender-bent Inosuke for that. So that's going to be really fun.
All I have in my brain now is Inosuke's laughter and Nezuko-chan.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know Demon Slayer, so I'll be here.
That might be a good new manga for you to check out.
Her next one that I recommended was Haiku.
But Demon Slayer is finished, I think.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, so that's usually my biggest reason why I wait because I'll read through them so quickly. So, like, I will read Haiku first because that is very near and dear to Tyler's heart. That's already on the docket. But that doesn't mean Demon Slayer's moved up a little further up the docket. So,
Demon Slayer's totally complete. It's not that long. You could probably, with the rate that you read, finish it pretty quickly.
In terms of books, Holly, it's 23 books. That's it. So it's not.
Within a week, I just read through like 25 books for Bleach.
That's what I like. I think Demon Slayer, they sell the box set at Barnes & Noble. It's like, it's this big. This is an audio medium. So the folks that are listening to this have no idea but you can hold it, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, that's a good one. And Haiku's great too. Van and I, we like Haiku as well.
I'm excited.
We've been joking that if he's Zenitsu, he has to like pretend to thirst after like random Nezuko's, but I get to hold my foam sword and hit him on top of the head.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
You got to kind of like reel them back in. That's, feels very fitting for the characters. Well, speaking of characters, I think today we should discuss sort of that intro to whenever we all got into anime, which would be those early 90s animes, that I guess now retro anime. I hope that doesn't make y'all feel too old. But I want to start with the topic of, I guess, what everyone thinks their top 3 early 90s, 80s, early old school anime. Those ones that used to come on late night on TV. Toonami, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say Toonami. I think most of us are familiar with Toonami.
So should we add just like the early 2000s, like 2000 to 2003 as well too?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you could definitely dip into those 1999, 2000. I mean, that's 2003. Maybe you're pushing it a little bit there, Tyler. But
okay. I wanted to see with that. I wanted to see.
No, you definitely can. Yeah, you definitely can. No, I'm just curious what everyone's top 3 are, and especially if there's any crossovers there, right? Because I would think there probably will be, but let's find out. Yeah, who wants to dive in first with listing their top 3? How about you, Holly?
Always me first. I don't know. I think 2 out of my 3 are probably different than others. I wouldn't be shocked, at least.
Okay.
So the one that might be similar to everyone else's or have a similarity is Sailor Moon. I feel like that's such an iconic anime that, especially as a young girl, was really cool and impactful because these badass planet women are saving things. And let's be honest, they're not even women. They're 13 to 17. They are
young
children.
Girls, yeah.
And the other 2, it'll get less known as we go through. So Inuyasha is my bread and butter. That's what I'm saying. Compared to Sailor Moon, which is iconic.
See, I have many memories of not only Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon was on 4Kids TV for a while. For those that know what 4Kids is.
Gotta love those 4Kids dubs.
Yeah. I never watched it, but I knew about it. But then Inuyasha, I have a special memory with, because usually it was at 3 or 4 in the morning of waking up at my cousin's or my grandma's house that I hear the ending theme with Inuyasha's brother staring off into space, and I was like, oh.
Sesshomaru.
Oh, not Sesshomaru.
We love us some Sesshomaru.
We do love him. And then the last one is Ranma Half. Which is
okay, now what the hell is that?
It's probably the most out there one. It's a very anime plot, okay? Basically, Ranma, this guy, falls into this hot springs water, whatever, and is cursed with whatever was in there last, which was a woman. And so, therefore, Ranma is half man and half woman, depending on what water is splashed on them.
Any water.
So if it's hot, it's one way. If it's cold, it's the other way. I don't remember which one is which, honestly, at this point. But it was whatever. I don't know what room temp water would do, but
So what you're telling me is the main villain of this whole manga/anime was water.
Correct. Yes.
H2O.
Correct. Yes. It now looking back reminds me very much so of Fruits Basket, which I know Vanna will appreciate, where when the Zodiac guys are hugged, they are girls too, but they're hugged, they turn into their Zodiac. It's like that, but with water.
Hugged by water.
By water, correct.
Picturing instead of the girls running at Yuki being Yuki and him dodging them like a Heisman player.
Yes.
Instead, I'm imagining like he's like leaning over to get like a drink out of the water fountain, and then all of a sudden like somebody like tries to do that trick where it sprays on you, and then trying to dodge it.
Yes, absolutely. Just suddenly
That
a
probably
rat.
was a plot.
Yeah, those are my
Okay,
3.
so Sailor Moon is a classic. It's a bop. Actually, Van and I have been watching it at night to go to bed because I love watching these old school. That's part of why I was like, I want to host this episode because we love watching like the old school anime. It's just something about like that, like those pastel colors and stuff they use, and everything's like a little bit like less intense on the eyes. It's good to watch before bed, I feel like.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So yeah, and Sailor Moon's fun. You know what's funny about Sailor Moon is that at the beginning of every episode, she basically just tells you everything that's about to happen in the episode for like the first 20 seconds, and then you just watch it happen. And you're like,
Correct.
yeah, that's exactly what she said was going to happen.
It's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she basically just like
Yeah.
outlines the entire story and then you get to watch it. It's like having a narrator that like ruins the whole plot for you. Love it.
But it's kind of nice because, like, you know, it's also one of those early animes where you're not going to have to worry about like, are they going to die, or you know,
Absolutely.
like she's going to save the day and
Sailor
throw her
Moon.
tiara, and it's gonna, yeah, exactly. She's the, what is it, the pretty sailor princess or something. She always throws that in there.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the Sailor Moon's a really good one. I know that me personally, I also really liked Inuyasha as well. But I think that when we're talking like those old school Toonami-esque era anime, that I would also have to throw in Cowboy Bebop. Any of y'all agreeing with Cowboy Bebop on that list?
I'm a Spike stan.
Yeah, that's me too. I've always been one for Cowboy Bebop because that's on my list for my top 3.
That's on your list too. See, I knew there'd be crossover.
Yeah. So yeah, with specifically for Cowboy Bebop, I mean, I loved the whole jazz, like cowboy, but in space kind of aspect of the bounty hunters. Spike Spiegel, love him. I love that character so much. And then I love Ein so much
So fluffy.
because I love corgis.
Yeah.
I love corgis.
Yeah, let's say Van and I have a corgi. We should have named him Ein, but he was Ace when we got him, so we liked that name and kept it.
Ace is good because that's a One Piece character, and that fits in for you guys.
Yeah, that's true. One Piece is definitely also. I'm a huge One Piece fan. I think Vanna, One Piece fan.
Yeah,
right?
that's in my top 3. It barely counts. It's 99, but 1999. But
Still
I've
fits.
only seen one episode of Cowboy Bebop, but I am pretty much caught up with One Piece.
I love that you were like casually like, oh yeah, I think my wife likes this. Like, yeah, you know at this point.
She may or may not.
You're not wrong.
Sometimes you have to worry. Like, is she just agreeing that she likes it to be nice to me? You know.
Okay,
Is
but
she,
if she's agreeing
entertaining
with
it?
One Piece, she loves you no matter what. That is
I know, and we're caught up on it. We're psychopaths. No, yeah. Tell him, Vanna. Tell him.
We've rewatched it several times, like 3. Like we'll go back and we'll just like restart it. So like we'll get fully caught up and we'll be like, man, well, I don't want to keep following it week to week. Like that kind of sucks. So instead, what if we go back to this arc and just restart it? So we've restarted it from Sanji's, because the first time we started with when they got Nami and her arc, and that's where we started. So we went back to the beginning and saw us get Zoro and Usopp and Sanji once all the way through, and then again we went back to the war arc, Impel Down, and we started at Impel Down and rewatched all the way through because we'd kind of forgotten all of the things post Dressrosa at one point.
My God, as someone that I read it because I can't do the filler for One Piece. I don't know why, I just can't.
We skip it.
Yeah, and I read it and I tried going back, and don't get me wrong, all those arcs are great. I love the Arlong Park arc. I loved Sanji's arc, and I loved Impel Down, specifically in the war. But at the same time, to go back and watch them, I don't know if I could do that. I have a hard time going back and reading them.
I now understand what regular people must feel like when they hear people talk about anime or like Naruto or something like that, because I have never seen One Piece. I'm lucky that I know that the main character's name is Luffy. And you want to know what I used to call him? Luffy.
That seems right. From being your significant other, that seems absolutely right, especially when I talk about him.
Well, and I feel like if you're just reading it, I could see that because if you don't watch the anime and like hear people say the names, like that does make sense. That tracks.
You
Well-
also call Juvia Juvia, though.
It makes sense to be a soft J. Same with Gajeel, okay? That's his name.
From Fairy Tale.
Yes.
She made them all Spanish.
Yeah, you gave it like a little bit of like a Spanish flair to it, like Juvia.
Yes. Yeah. So.
So,
All right, Tyler, what
I
you
was going
got?
to say, curious to continuing on to the old school stuff since we kind of talked One Piece. Vanna, what else did you like?
So I've got to throw Pokemon out there because it was my first one. It's also the only one I actually watched in the 90s. All of these others I've watched in the past 2 years, including Inuyasha. But my favorite, and we did finish it, I think in like February, is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Good choice.
That is a great one. That is also one of my favorites. I think I would argue that it has some of the best like story structures of any anime, especially from that time period. Like they really did a good job of like jumping from one thing to the next thing and then like kind of ending it like where it needed to be ended. They didn't keep dragging it on super long. Like some other anime that are still out there currently, Tyler is a big fan of.
Yeah, I mean, go with Yu Yu Hakusho. That is one I will go back and rewatch because, like, I have not seen that in a long time, and I've always been one to jump back into specific anime or like a specific TV show. Like, for instance, Holly came home to me watching Jersey Shore Family Vacation because I hadn't watched it in a while, and I like the drama, and it's something to put on in the background. So
Yep, that is something I walked home to. I was gonna say, speaking of Yu Yu, the live action cast was announced the other day. I'm not sure if you all saw that, but like, I think it looks like it's going to be cool. However, I also know it's a Netflix adaptation, so.
See, that's my thing is I just have not seen a live action anime to live action TV show that's been good. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has there been one? Like, has there been one that you're like, this was just as good, if not better, than the original anime?
Full Metal Alchemist, the live action Full Metal Alchemist Netflix, it was bad. Okay, don't get me wrong. The story
This is a hot take.
was bad. Everything about it was bad, but the visuals and the way that like the set designs and like the costumes and stuff, great. Chef's kiss. Seeing Alphonse in the full armor, like live action, oh, so great. But yeah, other than that, dog shit.
You know, sweetheart, it's okay to be wrong.
That is a hot take to say that. I mean, like I said though, I mean, everybody likes their shows.
At least you didn't say Death Note.
Okay, but that's what I was going
Oh.
to bring up, is that there are 2 Death Note live adaptations. The Netflix one is garbage, but the other one actually isn't awful. I own it. Put it that way. But the Netflix one is horrifying.
I've only seen the Netflix.
Fair.
Okay, so there are some good live actions. All right. Well, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is awesome. The Dark Tournament arc with Toguro, best tournament arc ever. I was throwing a little bit of shade at Tyler though, because when I was talking about, I know one of his favorite anime is the Dragon Ball Z, and they've been stretching out those screaming into transformation hair colors for a long time.
Rose.
Okay, I'll defend myself, but for one moment back to Yu Yu, I gotta throw out my love for Kuwabara. I love my Kuwabara. Hey,
I love his
Yusuke.
cat.
Ara is awesome.
But yeah, no. Back to I'm gonna defend Dragon Ball Z here for a second. I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z because I loved watching the anime when I was little, but now watching it now you can't watch it because it's just full screaming for 5 minutes. If I really want to watch it, I'll watch the abridged because it's got jokes and it makes fun of it.
And it's good.
I'll say this in the context of this episode, extra anime. I agree with you. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are actually very good. It's whenever they kept going. Honestly, Boo Saga Beyond just is really where they started to lose me. This is my hot take, and I'm curious with your opinion on this. Well, you can opinionate on any of the things I just said, but I think that Dragon Ball is where it was the most superior. That was my Dragon Ball, like OG Dragon Ball, little kid Goku. Hands down, that's the best version.
I I liked the innocence of it because it did match a lot of like you didn't know too much about it, and like that's what a lot of Dragon Ball that's the issue is a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans started with Dragon Ball Z and then went back to Dragon Ball. That's how I got it because I didn't know that. Seeing Goku progress and then getting to Dragon Ball Z and learning that guess what? He's an alien. He's a Saiyan from a race of super monkey beings, basically. And then moving on to like his progression and everything like that. And I do agree that there's some downsides with, oh man, you know, he's got to beat the next one and he's got to do a power up and then do this and do that. But like even Super, the new one that is out right now, there's some good story elements with it, but there are some that like with Rose, that whole arc.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, there's a whole arc with it in the anime and the manga where we are brought back to Future Trunks, the one that was introduced during the Cell arc, and we are introduced to a Goku that was taken over by one of the kami, one of the gods, and basically his Super Saiyan isn't like regular Super Saiyan, it's like Super Saiyan Rose, basically.
Favorite part is that like he already has a color associated with him. Like he's already Goku Black, but now he's Goku Black Rose. Like like, why does he get two colors?
That just sounds like a drink.
Yeah, and that was the thing is like there's some good stuff with it. Like I love the introduction of the multiverse because you can see these different concepts and everything like that. There's a tournament arc. There's 2 tournament arcs in Super that were good. And then what they've been doing with the manga is like I've kind of grown out of it. I haven't really caught up with Dragon Ball Super, so audience forgive me, but
To be fair, I enjoyed watching Dragon Ball Abridged so much that currently on my phone I have not 1, not 2, not even 3. I have 4 Vegeta fan fictions waiting for me.
Yes, King of the Dads.
Okay, all right. That brings me to another question for the group then. I feel like this is a great transition with what you've just said. Favorite characters from some of these shows that we've been talking, or maybe other shows, but maybe we stick to the confines of the shows we've mentioned. We've already mentioned several. And I will agree, Vegeta, or maybe Krillin are my top ones in the Dragon Ball
I was going to say, since we're talking about Dragon Ball Z, we'll start there. Yeah, I love Goku. I love Goku as like the person, but he is not like my favorite. It's got to be Vegeta. I just like his character progression from being this badass Saiyan prince and then getting knocked down a peg to constantly trying to get past his superior, basically superior adversary, and constantly trying to be better. I've always loved Vegeta for that reason.
Yeah, Vegeta's dope. Holly, Tyler threw out the word peg. Is there anything related to that in your fan fictions, or is that a different kind of fan fiction?
We're gonna find out, aren't we? I wouldn't be shocked if in a Vegeta fan fiction there's something about that.
Bulma's a baddie, by the way. Let me just say that was an early on anime crush. But we don't need to get into anime crushes. Let's talk about favorite characters. Yeah, I mean Vegeta, Krillin, they're both pretty great. Vanna, what about you? Favorite anime characters from some of these animes or manga that we've talked
So I'm a big Hiei fan. I love little short emo boy with a third eye. He's the bomb diggity. I do think Yusuke has some of the best one-liners, but also Kurobara's cat. What a rock star.
I like that Yusuke was like one of the earliest examples, at least in my knowledge, of like the stuff that I watched and paid attention to, of like shit talking. Like he trash talked and shit talked way more than anyone else. Like Goku's whole thing was like, oh man, I'm just here to fight. Like I'm a good guy. And then like Yusuke was like, pull your head out of your ass and stuff like that in like the tournament arc. And you're like, I was just like, damn, like this is on like TV when I was a kid, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're going back to Yu Yu Hakusho again, I love my man Kuwabara. I love Kuwabara, and then I have a giant crush, but then also love Botan as well too.
Dude. Okay, yes. Agreed. Botan is waifu material. Nobody can change my mind on that. She is smart, intelligent. She's the grim fucking reaper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. She's awesome. And she's blue hair. Gotta love those early 90s blue hair anime girls. They
hell
they knew
yeah.
how to draw them.
Yeah, you did just bring up Bulma, so therefore.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a type.
He also loves Vivi Nefertiti. I hope I said that right. From One Piece, the princess. He's really into the blue hair.
It's a thing.
Yeah, Vanna's gonna be like surprised like for Christmas when she gets blue hair dye, I think.
I was gonna say I love VV. Like with One Piece specifically, Holly's gonna be probably sitting there going, "I have no clue what's going on with One Piece."
I'm a part of this podcast.
Yeah, who's your favorite One Piece character, Holly? She's like, I like Lutho.
I like the one with big boobs because there's only one, right?
Big Mom. Yeah,
Oh,
Big Mom.
goodness.
She's pretty great. She laughs like this. She goes, Mama, Mama,
I mean,
Mama.
that's how I
her
laugh.
That's how, that's like a Pokemon. You don't laugh like Holly, Holly. That's like a Pokemon. Gosh, okay. Hang on a second. Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that my favorite character is Kurama because he is cool as hell and he's smooth and sexy with his rose whip attacks. And then he turns into like this badass like so that's my other downfall is it's blue-haired anime girls or women and white-haired anime men. And when Kurama turns into his white-haired demon form,
becomes Sesshomaru.
He becomes, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we all, Sesshomaru is probably my favorite character from Inuyasha.
See, but
So,
he is one of the top ones, but the best character from Inuyasha, and I'm not even going to say in my opinion because it's a fact, is Koga because that boy, he asked Kagome once he steals her. It's fine. Eventual consent is still consent.
it's how we're going with.
But he said, "You're my wife
No.
now."
Just because I enjoy the anime character does not mean that I would ever deal with it in real life. Consent should still happen at all times. But like he can steal me away at any time. I consent. It was a different time. You're not wrong.
All right. But I gotta throw out my man Moroku. How much smoother does it get than every single girl that you meet telling her your life story about how you're gonna die and asking if she'll have one of your children?
Touching their
that
butts.
is true. That's facts.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever he first said it to, oh my gosh, the main girl, not Kikyo.
Kagome.
What? Kagome. When he first said it to Kagome, I was like, I'd say yes.
You're right.
But would you have still said yes after finding out that he said it to every single girl?
Less likely, but maybe if I was the Sango.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I shipped him and Sango.
Well, I mean, yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because they eventually are shipped.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want to hear my two favorite from Inuyasha from only watching like a few episodes? I was gonna say I like Jaken and Miyoga.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Next question.
Nope.
They're side characters.
These are bad
side characters with humor, and I'm fine with that.
Next question.
Jaken is the little like troll that's like Master Sesshomaru.
Yeah,
Master Sesshomaru.
Yeah.
You can be
That's
wrong.
him, right?
You can be wrong.
Ugh.
Well, Miyoga's
Ugh.
the flea.
No, thank you.
Correct. You can still be wrong.
That one's not as bad. He is not as bad. I'll give you that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sesshomaru.
Okay.
You know,
I agree with
Sesshomaru.
watching some of the clips from it. Again, I haven't watched it all the way through, and I'm sure that it will come a day when Holly goes, "Hey, guess what? We're watching Inuyasha." All of it.
We're currently watching MTV's The Challenge, so we got to get through that first.
No.
Is that an anime?
It's pop culture.
You should know that Adam came in and he said, "Vanna, did you hear about this new show? All your Big Brother people are going to be on it. I heard it's going to be a really new big thing. It's called The Challenge."
Funny.
Adam, that show's
Okay, I don't watch trash TV. All right, I watch cultured TV like anime. Television. Crunchyroll is my only source of television.
It's been going on since it was the Real World Road Rules Challenge. So, however, I did start to learn about Big Brother characters from it. Anyways, back to 80s and 90s anime.
Yeah. I was going to say, let's swing back around and go back to One Piece specifically. I'd love to hear. Yeah, again, Holly's going to be kind of shut down from it a little bit, but
I didn't know Cowboy Bebop, if that helps.
She's calling it Cowboy Bebop, so that should give you some hint that she doesn't know
That's
that
not,
one very much.
That's not the name?
Beep beep.
It's Bebop. There's no double E in there. It's not beep. Bebop.
Cowboy Beep Boop.
Yeah, it's the sci-fi robot thriller that you were waiting on. No, what do you want to talk about One Piece though? Because I can talk about One One Piece. We could turn that into a whole episode.
I was gonna
talk
say
about One Piece.
we'll finish One Piece and then we'll go to Sailor Moon. I think that would be fun to talk about too. But I was gonna say for both Vanna and Adam, favorite male character and favorite female character, or non-binary too. There are some that are in there too that are like that.
Sure. Yeah.
2 of those characters.
Okay, I'm gonna do my favorite male character first because I have an inkling that Van and I actually might agree on this, but let's find out. Bon Clay. Yeah, he's so fucking he's so cool. So Holly, this is a little bit of education on One Piece for you really quick. Bon Clay, do you understand how like the devil fruit system works in that show? Okay,
Cool.
then we can skip past that. The important thing is that he is a queer character. He identifies as. He is on the villain side of things whenever everything starts kind of going down in their arc, but he meets the whole crew and they don't know he's a villain and he doesn't know that they're like who he should be kind of targeting. So they all like get along and they have a really good time. And he ends up really not doing anything villainous. And then he gets arrested. And then later on, he's in the prison that Luffy breaks into and he helps Luffy escape. And he's like the best friend. And there's a lot of emotion in One Piece. So like even sometimes talking about these characters, I will get emotional.
That's fair. As soon as you said queer, I was on board. So like they are now my favorite character from One Piece. So
I really think you would like
I'm
it.
down.
Yeah.
I put like little gifs of it in the latest episode, so you can get a better check on Bon Clay. Bon Clay's the bomb diggity.
I love their bloomers.
Yeah. There's a lot to go. I don't want to spoil anything because truthfully, you should check out One Piece at some point. And I'm not gonna
I was gonna say Bon Clay specifically loves swans, so that's all I'm gonna say.
If you'd be willing to read the Impel Down arc so that you could meet both Bon Clay and Ivan, because Ivan's entire power is that Ivan can change their gender to whatever fits the situation, and they can change other people's with hormones.
Flex.
So they have this like drag bar under the prison that they're all hanging out in.
Oh no.
It's like a secret drag bar that the prison guards and stuff don't know exists, and so like all of those characters make their way basically to it, and it's like the only like not terrible place in this prison.
Good.
And and he can change people's gender like at will. Like he's just like sticks them with his fingernails and just pumps them with some hormones. They back and forth. Just he does. It's not. There's no commit. There's no committing.
Easy way to transition. I love that for people.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, Vanna, favorite female character, and let's see if we agree on this.
Nico
one.
Robin, that's mine.
Yeah, Nico Robin's pretty great. I don't know. I'd have to think a little bit more about it, but she's the one that came to my mind first too.
I am cosplaying Nami at San Japan for one of the days, but that's more because of I don't know being like a white person. Nami's a bit easier.
Well, no, Robin has black hair, and she's also quite a bit taller.
Yeah.
So I feel like that doesn't play into your being on the shorter side.
Yeah, if I can not dye my hair or avoid wigs, that's always the goal.
I feel that.
Yeah. Robin's pretty great. Robin, so this is One Piece Education Hour featuring Adam and Vanna with side guest of Tyler. Robin Holly, her power is they all have devil fruit powers, and basically it's like you eat a fruit and you get a power, and then you can't swim. Don't think too much about it. That's all there is.
Y'all?
Her power is that she can do this little thing where she crosses her arms
across
the front of her. Yeah, and exactly. And she can make just any appendage or anything appear on anything that she can like. You shouldn't even have to be able to see it. It's a really powerful power, honestly.
Put her ear.
She can make like a million hands. Yeah, she can put her ear on a wall to listen.
She makes wings out of hands.
That one's a little far-fetched, I always thought. Like of all of her powers, that's like the weirdest thing that she can somehow just fly with like hand wings. That the physics of that probably
okay.
So
hear me out. Dicks on things.
Yeah. She could. Well, she didn't have a dick, so she has to have the appendage.
No.
To grow it on
do we
things.
know that she doesn't have a dick?
We don't.
It's been pretty heavily implied.
But do we know?
We don't. We have not seen them naked.
One Piece doesn't show a lot of genitals. They do show a lot of butts, though. I've seen a lot of the characters.
We've got some tickle bitties.
We've seen Frankie's butts and the boobs. They are the hourglass figure on some of these characters.
Elongated hourglass too.
I was gonna say Oda specifically, from what I've heard, he basically draws an hourglass, and then that's how he starts his drawing for most of the females. Is that Big Mom being the exception because Big Mom.
It's odd to me though because in pre-time skip, they're borderline proportionate. Like, don't get me wrong, every anime like they make the girls bustier, but borderline proportionate Nami and Robin. And then you get back from the time skip and it's like their boobs grew 7 cup sizes in 2 years.
Yeah.
Same, don't yours?
Yep. I know mine do. Yeah.
What are yours, Tyler?
But yeah, I mean, let's say, Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, so for me, I will start with the guys. I mean, mine's 2. I couldn't like slim it down because there's so many characters I love. For males specifically, it's either Luffy or Zoro. I mean, I'm one of the classics, more so Zoro side because he's kind of a ding dong and gets himself lost all the time, which I relate to a lot because I get myself lost all the time and I'll just be like, what was the big deal? I can easily turn around and go this way and all that stuff. But yeah, I kind of like the lone swordsman kind of vibe, like the 3 sword style ever since I was a kid when I first watched it. Before reading it, I loved that he had 3 swords. It was just interesting to me that they were able to do something like that. And then as far as for female characters, it's gonna be, and it's funny because it's related to Zoro, Tashigi, one of the naval officers that's also she's a swordswoman that has a grudge against Zoro and kind of sees him as the rival as well too. But then also the inclusion of Yamato from latest arc, the
Wano arc, yeah.
From Wano as well too. So I love Yamato. Just more so if we're talking about characters, Tashigi I love because there's just like that backstory with her, and then the thing with Zoro too. Again, I love Nami and I love Nico Robin, but like Yamato, her design is just I love it so much. It's just classic Japan mixed into a character.
Truthfully, you could have said anything and I would have agreed except Usopp.
Usopp's cool though. He's
I
got
like Usopp too. Like, I know he's got a lot of faults, but like, he's no Sasuke. You know what I mean? All my homies hate Sasuke.
I understand that reference. Thank you.
This is Sasuke from Naruto that we're talking about because there are other Sasuke.
I feel like I'm included.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's transition over to Cowboy Bebop. I mean, kind of sorry to neglect one person to have another person added. Sorry, Vanna.
Nah, dude, we're good. I feel like, I mean, Cowboy Bebop is prime, and I feel like it's one that, like, Cowboy Bebop and One Piece and then Yu Yu seem like the 3 that have the most overlap between all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna
like,
say.
yes,
I think
there's
so
like
too.
people left out of all of them, but like other than Yu Yu, I think that's the one that like all 4 of us are like, yeah, in varying degrees. But
yeah, I would agree. I feel like those are sort of, if our team was to come up with like a top 3, I would agree that those have been sort of consensually, like, is that the word? Consensus.
I'm so proud of you for using consent for the first time in your life. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding.
Okay, no, not for the first time.
I am absolutely kidding. Adam is a saint. I'm just being a brat. Well,
not a saint either, but thank you.
Consent is very much so used. I just have to give you crap. Welcome to friendship.
True. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'll say I feel like all of us have seen and liked Inuyasha, so that's in there. And then who knows? Maybe I'll replace Pokemon with Sailor Moon in 3 months.
I think you'll love Sailor Moon once you get a little further.
Yeah, like I said, we're on episode 10 of Sailor Moon, I think. And so far, it's fun. It's very
Absolutely.
early 90s or late 80s, I guess. I don't know. But it's very campy. The colors are very, like, pretty pastels. I focus a lot on, like, art style in anime as well as, like, music. And so, like, I like the intro song is good. Yeah, Sailor Moon is definitely growing on me as well.
We'll say the cat.
Luna?
Cute.
Yes.
Luna, yeah.
So it's like,
she's like, Sailor Moon, what are you doing? And she's like, you didn't give me an instruction manual, Luna. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
We stan Luna in this house.
Yeah, we do. Luna is pretty great. Well, guys, is there anything else as we kind of wrap this episode up that anyone wants to mention that we may or may not have talked about?
No, I mean, I think we got our basic top 3 was
Cowboy Bebop,
Yu Yu Hakusho, And One Piece. I mean,
One
I
Piece.
think those are great ones, and highly recommend for any of those listening out there that want to try to dive into anything that is 80s and 90s anime, because there's a lot out there. Ones that we haven't even mentioned: Trigun, Gundam, Evangelion, a whole bunch that I know. But like, again, these are the top 3 from us, and that's what I think we came up with successfully here.
Yeah, I think so. I think we might even in the future have an episode about good starter animes, because when you list these, some of these I would think even it's not just our top 3, but I think universally they're quite praised, and so they could almost be argued as like good starter animes. But that might be another topic for another time. Anything else before we sort of wrap this up, Holly, Vanna? No?
No?
Perfect. Well, thank you all for listening. Next week, Holly will be holding the reins as we dive into the Nerdlywed game, which you'll get to find out more about what that is. For all our listeners, if you have any feedback, please feel free to shoot us an email at thosecoupleofgeekspodcastinfo@gmail.com, which is kind of a mouthful, but it's just thosecoupleofgeekspodcastinfo@gmail.com. Follow us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, Those Couple of Geeks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to leave a like, leave a comment on any of these things. We'd love to have interaction with our fans, and we're very responsive. There's 4 of us, so one of us will definitely be able to respond to those comments and those emails. Till next time, stay tuned for our next episode, and we'll see you then. Thanks, y'all.